there everyone, Josiah here with Womprat Creations, and for this week's scratch build I'm going to be doing another speed build. Specifically, I'm going to be building a proton grenade. Now, I did not make this kit that's sitting in front of me. This was an Etsy purchase from 3D Print Toys. It is a very well engineered kit. Everything fits together very, very nicely. And it is all 3D printed. I've already thrown some filler primer on all the pieces and sanded them down so I have a nice finish. But I'm going to be assembling and painting this as a speed build, which for those of you who aren't familiar, I think going forward, whenever I do a speed build, I'm going to be more referring to the formatting of the video, where I'm just going to kind of focus on the work and of course film all of it, and then I'll go back later and do a voiceover and explain to you what I'm doing in each shot. But I'm really excited to put this together. I did a show and tell for the one that I made a while ago, which is not the most accurate, and I wasn't really going for accuracy. It was a lot of fun to make, but I told you guys that I wanted to make a more accurate one. And I was thinking about how I wanted to do that, and I kind of settled on 3D printing it, and so I started modeling some stuff. But then I found that people offer these kits for a really fair price. I think I paid like 25 bucks for this kit. I mean, there's nothing better than that. That's awesome. It took a while to get to me, but I mean, they're on the other side of the world, so no, but this is a great kit. I'm excited to get going on this, so let's get into it. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to confess I have not watched this completely edited all the way through. I've watched all of it at one point or another, but not all the way through, so let's see how this goes. Alright, so the bunker bomb, or the proton grenade from Return of the Jedi, has this really nice kind of muted brown color, and I wanted to mimic that. So I'm giving the whole thing a base coat of white so that when I go in with my brown, it'll kind of help lighten up the brown a little bit. And I will also confess that though I did film the majority of this, I unfortunately did not film the actual brown that I put on there. It was a enamel mix that I made to get the brown that I needed, and that was not filmed, so I am very sorry. But yeah, now I'm putting on some black onto the greeblies that are going to be metal, because we all know that black is the base coat for metallic finishes. Now I'm going through with some Malto. This is a lacquer-based paint that is just amazing for these metallic finishes. But this is going to give you a really bright, reflective, almost chrome finish. So if you're looking for a dull, like aluminum, this is not the paint for that. But if you want a really bright, reflective, metallic finish, Malto is fantastic. Now I'm going through and masking off sections for the next color, referring to some reference that I have on my phone. Man, even sped up, this is taking forever. Masking when done right should feel like a pain, but it's so worth it because when you do it right, you get such great results. Now I'm going through, and the colors that I'm using on this are enamel paints, and I normally don't use enamels, but the reason I decided to go with them is I have all of these enamel paints from my Boba Fett cosplay, and because this prop is from Return of the Jedi and my Boba Fett is from Return of the Jedi, it just felt right to use the same colors. I feel like that's what a production would have done. They just would have used whatever colors that they had on hand. More masking, onto the next color, nice basic red. Arguably the best, well, I would say definitely the best part of masking is removing the masking and getting to see those nice crisp lines. Yeah, I can never make anything into the trash can. Now I'm going through on my computer and using the Cricut software to design a stencil for the words that are on the sides of the Proton Grenade. This is the unfortunate, forgotten, dangerous space of my workshop, which obviously needs some attention. You can see I can barely move around back there. Now I had this design cut out of a stencil material, so it's kind of designed to be applied to something and then be taken off after you've used it as a stencil. So be careful with what you're using for this, because if you use something that isn't meant for being a stencil, the adhesive might be a little much, and it can ruin the paint job that you have underneath. So just be careful with that. I'm spraying down the letters with some black, and then once I finish up with that, you'll see me take some of the masking off so that I can go through with the black and weather the whole prop. Had to get my trusty X-Acto blade to help me get some of this masking off. Yeah, see, now I'm going through and just doing a little light weathering through the whole thing with some black through my my airbrush. Going through with my handy dandy chrome paint pen to add some small chipping effects and some scratches throughout. You have to be really careful not to overdo this part. It's really easy to. Now I'm going through with some enamel washes and just getting some nice grime into all of the creases and corners, and then I'll come in with a light rust color and do the same thing, just going through any area that dirt might get trapped in and just putting a little bit in there. You might have noticed that I've gone to more of this controlled weathering job as opposed to the kind that I used to do, which was more of a just all over watered down wash and removal with a rag. I think I'm liking this method a little better. Now I'm adding in all of my greeblies. All right, you guys, this speed build is done, and I'm actually pretty happy with this. It's not the most exact, you know, dead-on replica kit out there, but it was cheap, it's well engineered, and I had a lot of fun putting it together and painting it. It didn't come out exactly perfect, but I'm happy with it. This is really cool, and I'm really loving the amount of reflectivity I was able to get off of these metal surfaces. I think this came out really well. If you guys are enjoying these speed builds, I know that this one wasn't a model making speed build, but if you guys enjoyed my last speed build, the custom spaceship, or this one, let me know in the comments, because I can always do more of these if you guys are enjoying them. So thank you guys for tuning in for this week's Scratch Build. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Hey, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it. That lets you know every time that we come out with a video so that you don't miss a thing, and it really helps us out with keeping the lights on over here. Thanks, guys.
517 to scanner control. 517 to scanner control. 316, report to control. 53 to upper bay door. 53 to upper bay door.